March 12, 1944. Just after sunrise, Camp Hearne, Texas. The dust hangs in the air before the trucks even stop. Canvas-covered army transports roll through the gate one by one, their engines ticking as they cool, heat shimmering off olive drab hoods. Guards shout short commands, boots hit gravel. Somewhere nearby, a windmill creaks slowly, turning in the pale Texas light. Inside the truck bed, Obergefreiter Karl Weiss blinks hard, trying to adjust. He hasn't slept properly in days. North Africa feels like another lifetime now. Sand, heat, the crack of British artillery. That was where he was captured months ago, when the Africa Corps collapsed and the war he believed in folded in on itself. Now he's here. Texas. He expected grey barracks, barbed wire, hunger, beatings. Everything the radio in Berlin had promised him would happen if he ever fell into American hands. Instead, the first thing he smells is coffee. Not the thin, bitter substitute they brewed back home from roasted roots. Real coffee, rich, dark. It drifts across the compound as guards unload crates and call roll numbers. Karl swallows without meaning to. His stomach tightens. You can almost feel his confusion before he speaks. The camp looks orderly, too orderly. Wooden barracks painted clean white, neat rows, Red Cross signs posted clearly in German and English. No shouting, no rifle butts swinging wildly. The American guards look bored more than angry, rifles slung casually over their shoulders. A sergeant checks Karl's tag, glances at his face, and waves him forward. "That's it," he says, flat, uninterested. "That's it?" Karl steps through the gate, half expecting a blow from behind. It never comes. Around him, other German soldiers exchange uneasy looks. These are not recruits. These are men who fought in Tunisia, Sicily, Normandy. Men hardened by propaganda and loss. They have been told over and over that America is a nation of unemployed beggars, that its factories are collapsing, that its workers starve while Jewish bankers grow fat. Yet nothing here fits the picture. The barracks have windows, glass windows. Inside, bunks with actual mattresses. Not straw, not bare boards, wool blankets folded neatly at the foot. A potbelly stove sits in the center, already warm. Someone has lit it early. A trick. Karl isn't so sure. Later that morning they are issued food. Not slop, not thin soup. Eggs, bread, meat. A square of butter, pale yellow and unmistakably real. Karl turns it over in his fingers like it might vanish. Butter like this hasn't existed in Germany for years. One bite and something cracks. Not loudly, quietly, deep inside. The camp commandant speaks to them that afternoon through an interpreter. Rules, work details, pay, actual pay for labor done outside the camp, under guard, in accordance with the Geneva Convention. Pay. That word ripples through the group like a shockwave. Karl has not been paid properly since 1941. Days pass. The rhythm of camp life settles in. Morning roll call, work assignments, repairs, farm labor, construction. Always watched, always counted, but treated, this is the part none of them expected, like men, not animals, not enemies. On Karl's third day, he is assigned to a farm detail just beyond the wire, a cotton operation owned by a local American family struggling with labor shortages since their sons went to war. The truck takes them out along a dirt road. Karl sits on the wooden bench, eyes scanning the horizon. Flat land, big sky, nothing like home. Then he sees it, a house set back from the road, white porch, swing moving gently in the breeze, and in front of it, parked casually, like a bicycle might be parked back in Bavaria, an automobile. Not military, civilian, painted blue, chrome bumper catching the sun. Karl leans forward despite himself. Then another house, another car, and another, some newer, some older, but all unmistakably private automobiles. A murmur spreads through the truck. Someone laughs once sharp and disbelieving. Another shakes his head slowly, as if trying to wake from a dream. The truck keeps rolling. They pass a small town, a gas station, 2 pumps, a Coca-Cola sign painted bright red. A grocery store with produce stacked high in the window, and parked along the street, cars, dozens of them, owned by people wearing work clothes, not uniforms, not medals, factory workers, farmers, men with dirt on their boots and lunch pails in their hands. Carl's chest tightens. His mind reaches instinctively for the familiar explanations. Staged, a show for prisoners, Hollywood nonsense. But the Americans don't even look at them as they pass. A man steps out of the store, keys jingling, climbs into his car and drives away without a glance. No audience, no performance, just life. Carl sits back slowly, heart pounding, as something he has carried for years begins to fracture. If this is true, if these people really live like this, then what else has he been lied to about? And if this is America's workers, what does that say about America's war? The truck slows as they reach the farm. Guards call out orders. The moment passes, but the image doesn't. That night, back in the barracks, Carl lies awake staring at the ceiling. Around him, men whisper in low voices, replaying what they saw, trying to explain it away. Cars, everywhere, and none of it makes sense, not yet. The next morning comes with the sound of engines, not trucks, cars. Carl hears them before he sees them. A low rumble drifting over the barbed wire as the sun climbs. Tires on gravel, doors slamming, laughter, casual, unhurried. He sits up on his bunk, heart already beating faster than it should. Outside, beyond the inner fence, a row of automobiles is pulling in near the administration building. Sedans, pickup trucks, one with wooden panels along the side, another with a dented fender and mismatched paint. They park crookedly, like no one is worried about appearances. American civilians step out. Not officers, not officials, workers, men in rolled-up sleeves, denim shirts, suspenders. One chews on a toothpick, another lights a cigarette and cups the flame against the breeze. They wave at the guards like old acquaintances. Carl watches through the barrack window, unable to look away. These men are here to supervise work details, skilled labor, construction, machine repair, and they arrive the same way every morning, in their own cars. At breakfast, the Germans speak more openly now. The first shock has worn off, replaced by something more dangerous: comparison. Back home, says Franz, a former machinist from Essen, my factory was shut down twice last winter. No coal. Carl nods. He remembers the blackout nights, the freezing apartments, his mother burning furniture to keep warm. Here, the mess hall lights never flicker. Another man leans closer, voice low. I spoke to one of the guards yesterday. There's a pause. He said he owned his house. The table goes quiet. Someone scoffs, but no one sounds convinced. Later that day, Carl's detail is assigned to a nearby rail yard. The Americans need hands to unload freight cars, crates of machinery parts stamped with dates barely weeks old, fresh steel, new paint. Everything smells of oil and production. An American foreman named Bill oversees them. Mid-30s, no rank, no uniform, just a clipboard and a voice that carries. He explains the job slowly, clearly, making sure the interpreter keeps up. When a German stumbles, Bill corrects him without anger, without shouting. At midday, they break for lunch. Bill opens his metal pail and pulls out a sandwich thick with meat, actual meat. He bites into it, chewing thoughtfully, then notices Carl staring. Bill asks, already holding it out. Carl freezes. This isn't allowed. It can't be. The interpreter hesitates. Bill shrugs. Carl shakes his head quickly. 9. Bill doesn't press. He just eats, washes it down with coffee from a thermos, and wipes his hands on a rag. He asks casually. Yes, Carl answers. My granddad came from Hamburg, Bill says. Carl doesn't know what to say to that. They work until late afternoon. As the sun dips low, casting long shadows across the tracks, a whistle blows. Quitting time. Bill checks his watch. The Germans stand there, waiting for further orders. Bill frowns. You can go, and then, like it's the most natural thing in the world, he walks toward a battered Ford parked nearby, opens the door, starts the engine. Carl watches the car pull away, dust curling behind it. Bill didn't salute anyone, didn't ask permission, didn't belong to the party, or the army, or the state. He just left. That evening, the conversations are louder, no longer whispers. Arguments break out. They show us only what they want us to see, insists one man. Another snaps. Carl stays silent, but his thoughts won't slow. He keeps replaying the same details. The ease, the abundance, the absence of fear. Before lights out, a guard hands him a small booklet. Pay for the week. Actual currency. American dollars. Carl turns it over in his palm, stunned. Money for labor. Back home, his sister stands in line for hours for bread that may never come. Here, he is being paid by the enemy to work, fed better than his family, and housed in conditions superior to his old barracks. The propaganda voice in his head grows weaker by the hour. That night he dreams of his childhood street in Munich. Empty, bombed, silent. Then the dream shifts. Cars line the road, lights are on, people are laughing. He wakes before dawn, heart racing, unsure which image is real anymore. The next week brings a new assignment. Factory work, not inside the camp, inside town. And this time, they won't just see American workers, they'll work beside them. And that is when the final illusion begins to collapse.